Why, hello there, my cuties. I have not had the best week, if I'm being completely honest. And because of that, I thought I would do something that I really wanted to make a video on, but I didn't think anybody would be interested in it at all, so I just didn't. But you know what? It's 2020, things suck, and some not great things happened recently. So why not talk about a comic that I've been making? What? A comic? Where on earth is this comic? Where can I read it? I hear you say. Currently, you can only read it on Patreon. I know, I'm sorry. But Patrons get everything first, and I want to be able to upload the pages in more of a bundle form, so maybe 10 pages, for every update, and I want to have all of chapter 1 done before I start uploading pages publicly. I also have a few other things I need to get finished, like the actual cover I need to get done. I'm still not entirely sure what I'm going to do for that and what it's going to look like, and a few other small things, but as well as just finishing the entire chapter off. Currently there are 13 pages that are completely done that you can read if you are a Patreon. You don't have to be a $10 one, you can literally just be $1. I don't really usually say like, oh, become a Patreon right now, woo! Because it's something that you just do if you want to support the channel. I'm just saying this now because a lot of people have asked me, where on earth do I read this? And all you have to do is become a $1 Patreon a month. That's it. That's all you gotta do. And then you can read all the pages. 13 pages, it's not a lot. You'll probably get through them very, very quickly. But consider, also, if you stay a $1 Patreon, you get pretty consistent updates. I'm literally working on pages right now. After I finish recording this and edit it down, I'm gonna go back to working on that and editing other things, and they're really actually pretty consistent updates over on Patreon. I'm gonna be real. I'm actually really proud of myself, because in the past I was really bad at constantly updating comics, and I just got really overwhelmed with the process. But I am now a grown adult, and I think I have learned to either A, manage my time better, B, it doesn't seem as overwhelming because I've worked on really big projects by now, or C, I'm just a workaholic, which is probably C, honestly. But let's get into it. So, the name of the comic is Avashian and Dust. You might be looking at the title and thinking, you spelled that wrong. No, incorrect. Ashian is the name of the race of one of the characters. It's just a play on words, ha 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 ha, because I'm bad at naming races, and originally I was gonna name them something else, and I'm like, you know what, this name is calling to me, so that's what I picked. It is a fantasy D&D inspired comic with a boys love storyline as well. So it has a lot going on for it, I think. There is a romance between the boys, the main boys, and there is a big overarching story between the fantasy world and what's going on within it, and one of the characters who I will explain here in a second. So first, let me introduce the main squad currently. Other characters will be introduced later, but for now we have our main three. We have Adara, who is the Ashian. We have Ryland, who is a human boy, human mans, and we have Jasper, the blue tiefling. The three of them are a squad together. None of them really have any like D&D class type things. The closest thing I would say any of them would be, God, I don't even know. Maybe sorcerer, maybe, for Jasper. I don't know. None of them are like a definitive like class for that. They just do their thing and they got weapons and magic. So that's cool. The current story is where we are right now is Ryland, the human boy, accidentally falls through a portal into the world that you see now, the fantasy world named Valmir. Through there, he meets the two other characters, and chaos ensues through the boys' love themes. It's very, very gay. Adara and Ryland are like, whoa, why does this guy make me so blushy? It's so crazy, what? and Jasper is also on the sidelines, just being like, get away from my boy. Stop it. Don't touch him. Don't even look at him. You're nasty. So we got those three who are gonna go on some wacky adventures. Now, they have to figure out how to get Rylan back to his world, while also not immediately dropping everything and stopping their jobs, essentially. Adara is a monster hunter. He is trying to cleanse the world, kind of the monsters that currently inhabit it, because humans done goofed up. When do they not? And there is a war happening, because when is there not a war happening in a fantasy world? Let's be real. Like, there's always a war happening, literally all the time. So they are kind of caught within these three things happening between Rylan needs to get home, Adara needs to get money by monster hunting and keeping the roads clear, and they also need to figure out what the heck is going on with this war and what they should do about it, if they should just avoid it altogether or if they should be part of it. So I think that's a very fun and funky thing that's gonna happen, as well as just like all of them kind of falling in love and being real gay. It wasn't really originally gonna be like as like intensely homo. But when I started planning chapter 1, it just, my little hands were like, you know what this scene needs? Just like a lot of longingly looking into people's eyes and a lot of really gay dialogue, and I just accepted that. I'm like, you know what? That's okay. When has there ever been a like D&D inspired story that's like super gay and just a whole lot of chaos happening? I think I found my mark, my area where I will plant my foot, and hopefully people will read it and be like, oh, I didn't know I needed this, but now I know that I needed this. Fun fact, very interesting thing, this story was originally based off of a comic, manga, quote unquote, that I made when I was about 10 or 11, I want to say. I started it when I was 10, I think. Now, it's like, it's so drastically different than what it was at that point. If I were to, I don't even have really any art of what it was, because it was all on paper, and when I moved to Oregon, I just kind of lost that all, and sadly, I have like a little bit, but again, it's so drastically different. Adara has completely changed genders, his hair is so much longer, Jasper completely changed what he was, like, what was his original name? Hizuru? I think a lot of them had like, just like, literally, like, again, I was 10, so don't roast me too hard, but it was literally like, this name vaguely sounds Japanese, I'll pick that, which I know, that's so bad, I'm so aware, but again, I was 10, I didn't know any better, I'm sorry, but that was his original name. I think Rylan's name was Remku, but I didn't like that name anymore, and so I gave him a completely new name. Honestly, he's changed the least. He was just a high schooler at the time. It was very kind of heavily based on Bleach, where they're in high school, and then a girl joins in, and he's like, whoa, who is that? And she turns out to be from a fantasy world, and craziness happens, whoa. And I think I was going to originally kind of do something like that at some point, but I've literally seen that story done so many times in anime that I'm like, no more. I'm gonna try to do something hopefully original, and I really, really love the idea of somebody from our world being yeeted into a fantasy world, and him trying to explain like modern day technology, memes, him using his phone, and then being absolutely blown away at the technology, and, you know, he's taking like little selfies and pictures along the way. That just sounds so cute to me, and I love that so much. Just let me have it. Let me take it. I want it. And because I wanted that, I made it. Now, currently, again, like I said, 13 pages in. There's a couple other pages I've nearly finished, but they're so out of order at this point because I'm kind of working on the pages that I prefer making right now, so that the more boring pages I can kind of kind of do later on when I have the energy to do them, but the fun pages I can make now. I have about 2 chapters thumbnailed, which means I got really ugly body sketches. Here's some of my favorites, by the way, of their stupid faces. I love them. It's so beautiful. I'm such an artist. Things are doing good. I keep just creating it, and I think from all those years of making failed attempts at comics, I have finally learned a good balance of how to make them quickly, efficiently, and hopefully not look terrible. You can be the judge. Here's some snippets of the pages. Again, you can read more on Patreon. If you're watching this like way in the future, I don't know why you would. Chances are the pages are already uploaded somewhere. If they are, there'll be a link somewhere. I don't know where, but there'll be a link, so look out for that. If not, just go to my Patreon, and again, there'll probably be a link somewhere. So, I don't know. Super excited for this, and I've been wanting to tell you guys more about this story and more about these characters. And honestly, if you want me to talk more about them and show more stuff, please just give this video a like. Algorithm stuff, blah blah blah. The more you guys, gravitate towards this kind of content, the more I want to make it. And yeah, I'm honestly just super excited. I'm so hyped for making this. It's been one of the few things in my life that just give me all that good, like, serotonin, good feels. And my friends have made a lot of just really cute art from my characters, and so have you guys. The people on like Twitter and Instagram, oh my god, you don't even know anything about these characters yet. You love them so dearly, and it makes me so happy. Thank you guys so much for liking my characters. You're so sweet. So in honor of that, I will be showing some of that fan art at the end of the video. Now, let's get into patrons. I would love to give a huge, gigantic, amazing, phenomenal shout out to all of my gorgeous Patreons under my $10 tier. We have Barry Onyx, Nightmares, Rosemary, and Strong Killies. We have our gorgeous, amazing $30 Patreon of Lee. And how can we forget our $60 patrons of Noah and Dawn. Hello! Thank you guys so much for becoming my Patreons and watching my content and just generally hanging out with me. Like I said previously, this past month has not been very good. It's why I kind of vanished off the face of the earth for about a month. Sorry about that. I just needed time. But thank you so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And hey, don't forget, drink some water. Bye!